Welcome back to another chilling episode of Crime Stories, where we uncover the darkest tales from around the country. Today, we venture into the heart of New Orleans to explore a story that blends tragedy, romance, and horror in equal measure: the disturbing case of Zack Bowen and Addie Hall. It all began in August 2005. As Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans, most fled the destruction. But for Zack Bowen, a charismatic 28-year-old former soldier, and Addie Hall, a spirited 30-year-old bartender known for her artistic flair and fiery personality, Katrina presented a bizarre opportunity to build a fantasy of freedom amidst the ruins. For weeks, Zack and Addie lived like royalty in the deserted French Quarter. They offered drinks to rescue workers, hosted communal cookouts, and became local legends. Media fascinated by their romantic story labeled them symbols of resilience, a love born from chaos. But beneath the smiles and the fleeting fame, both Zack and Addie had troubled pasts. Zack, though charming and friendly on the surface, was quietly tormented by severe PTSD from his deployments in Kosovo and Iraq. Friends later revealed that Zack carried deep guilt and trauma from witnessing the horrors of war, including the deaths of close friends. Addie, equally complex, carried scars of her own. Behind her vibrant, carefree facade was a history of trauma, including abusive relationships and bouts of severe anxiety and mood swings. Friends described her as someone who fiercely guarded her independence, yet craved deep connections, an emotional contradiction that often led to turbulent relationships. As the city's lights slowly flickered back on, reality seeped back into Zack and Addie's lives. The fantasy faded, replaced by alcohol, drugs, and escalating arguments. Friends noticed the change, sensing a darkness brewing beneath the surface. Then, on October 5th, 2006, everything fell apart. After a heated argument fueled by jealousy and emotional exhaustion, Zack strangled Addie to death in their small Rampart Street apartment. But the horror didn't end there. Over the next several days, Zack spiraled into madness, dismembering Addie's body in a desperate attempt to hide his crime. In a twisted confession, he wrote messages on the apartment walls, capturing his deteriorating mental state and overwhelming guilt. Haunted by what he'd done, Zack made his way to the rooftop of the Omni Royal Orleans Hotel on October 17th. After a final drink, he stepped into the night, leaving behind a detailed note confessing to the murder and instructions for police to find Addie's remains. Authorities arrived at the apartment, discovering a scene straight from a nightmare: chilling writings covering the walls, explaining his gruesome actions, and expressing a disturbing lack of remorse. The story quickly became infamous, capturing national attention and raising troubling questions about mental health, domestic violence, and the invisible scars carried by many veterans. Today, their story remains etched in the fabric of New Orleans. The apartment at Rampart Street is a chilling landmark, visited by the curious and those drawn to the darkness of human tragedy. And in the whispers and shadows of this vibrant city, the tragic story of Zack and Addie serves as a haunting reminder that sometimes the greatest dangers lie beneath the brightest smiles. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you found this episode compelling, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest crime stories. Leave a comment below sharing your thoughts or suggestions for future episodes. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and we'll see you soon.